Discord, because that is where I ask you guys for the hot takes. You drop them. I give you my opinions. I rate them on a scale from piping hot to cold or chilly or extremely cold, something like that. Freezing, freezing. Piping hot meaning very unlikely. Cold or freezing meaning realistic. Probably gonna happen. So we have two today. Not gonna premiere it since there's only two. But the first one comes in from K in the building. Miles Sanders will be leading rusher. Now, this is possible because the Eagles, their schedule is very favorable when it comes to run defenses. They're playing some very bad run defenses. They're playing the Giants twice. They don't have a very good run defense. The Bears have a pretty bad run defense. The Cowboys' run defense isn't as good as it may seem. Saints don't have a great run defense. Really, the Titans are the team that has a really phenomenal run defense. Other than that, the rest of the teams are very runnable on. So Miles Sanders getting that, and then you also have to talk about the guys that are in front of him. You have Saquon Barkley, you have Nick Chubb, you have Derrick Henry, and you have Josh Jacobs. It's seeming like Josh Jacobs is going to be very difficult to catch up to him. Sanders has 900. Jacobs almost, is coming kind of close to 1,200. So that's like that is almost a 300-yard difference. And the way Josh Jacobs is running, I don't know if anyone runs more than Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs is going to take the rushing title. Henry could, if Henry has a game or two where he just goes absolutely insane, which he's been very good all season. It's just, will he have a game where he just goes crazy? Will he have 2 or 3 games? You just never know with Derrick Henry. Nick Chubb, it doesn't seem like the Browns want to run the ball all that much as some of these other guys. So, I don't see Nick Chubb, especially with Deshaun Watson coming back. You're going to want to throw the ball even more. So, I think Sanders has a shot to finish above Nick Chubb, depending on how many carries he gets, that kind of stuff. For how little carries Miles Sanders does have, though, he has 900 yards, 177 carries for 900 yards. That is incredible. Saquon Barkley is in front of him with 992. Could definitely see him finishing, ahead of Saquon Barkley. Barkley has had a phenomenal season, but Miles Sanders is creeping up, and he actually is. Josh Jacobs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is number 5 in rushing yards, so he's creeping up there. Sanders is extremely efficient, elusive. We've seen these last few weeks that Sanders has played a huge role in this Eagles team. They've been struggling, and Miles Sanders has been the guy that they lean to once in a while here, and he has answered. He has played well. So, but I'm gonna go hot because I don't think it's likely, but I think there's a chance. If Sanders, the run defenses that they're playing, Sanders, if he has two games, maybe 3 with 150 plus, which is, kind of pushing it, that'd be wild. Maybe he has a shot, and then another, 2 games, 3 games, he just has a decent game, maybe 70 plus yards. But I don't know because Josh Jacobs is running wild and doesn't really seem to matter which defense he's really going up against either. It's just a matter of fact of the play caller actually giving him the chance to run the ball, actually, forming a game plan around your best player, one of your best players. I think Devontae Adams is the best offensive player on that team, but Josh Jacobs is definitely not far behind. So I'm going to go hot there. Then for the last hot take, which is only the second one, unfortunately, I'd like to have more, but just didn't get more this week. But it comes from LCCJS27. He goes, Browns only win 2 more games. They beat the Texans and the Saints, and they lose to the Bengals, Ravens, Commanders, and Steelers. So, interesting take. I'm brought up the gate since he's like trying to, he's attempting to just predict the rest of the season. We're going to go through the games here. So, beating the Texans and the Saints, I could see it because they can run so well. Both teams cannot stop the run very well. Deshaun Watson could build on that. So even if Deshaun Watson is still trying to get back in the groove of things, because he's not gonna be this savior. He's not gonna be this crazy quarterback the first time he's back out there. If he is, I'll be really surprised because he hasn't played meaningful football in or he'll play live. He hasn't played live football in like 2 years. So it's very difficult to come back. There's a difference between football shape and just being in shape. We're gonna see how Watson looks when he comes out there. I'm really interested to see this. I'm really wondering how he's gonna play this first game, because when you're away for so long, it's difficult to get right back into it. And Jacoby Brissett kind of has the chemistry with the receivers. He's been playing with them all season. It's probably going to take Deshaun Watson a little while to adjust the receivers and the receivers to adjust to him. So I could see a game where a few games where Deshaun Watson just doesn't look like he's expected to look. And, those games could be the Bengals, Ravens, Commanders, and Steelers. But the fact that he's given me the teams that they're going to beat and lose to, I'm going to go piping hot because the NFL is quite the crazy place. But I would give him cold. Like, very likely to beat the Texans and the Saints. Now, are you going to beat the Bengals? No. And then he goes and says you're going to lose to the Bengals, lose to the Ravens, lose to the Commanders, and the Steelers. I think they could beat the Steelers. The Steelers' run defense is solid, but it's runnable. It's runnable on. Then the Commanders' defense, they didn't start too great. They eventually found a way to, they picked it up. They got it figured out a little bit. And, that Commanders team is actually looking pretty good. The whole NFC East is just a powerhouse right now. Who would have thought coming into the season, if you told someone, yeah, the whole NFC East is going to be in the playoff picture by week 13, they'd tell you you're crazy. I would have too. And they are all in the playoff picture, from the Eagles, from the 10-1 Eagles to the 6 or 7-5 Washington Commanders. It is insane. I think it would be the first time it would be the first time in history that the entire division made it, because it wasn't possible before with only 2 wild card spots. Now you have 3. You have division winner, and then 3 other teams. Which, if a division is insane, maybe all 3 of them make it, or the whole entire division. That would be incredible. So, do they lose to the Ravens? I think so. I don't think they're the Ravens. Ravens are looking very good right now. That defense is, it's really Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. They're kind of off and on. They've looked sus at times this year. Are they going to have a good game? Are they going to struggle that game against Deshaun Watson? Don't know. Loss to the Bengals, I could see that. Joe Burrow and that Bengals team is just playing at such a high level. Might not have Joe Mixon, so that's a big one. But the Commanders, yeah, I think they can beat the Commanders. But taking an L to them, I guess we'll see. So, it is the 23rd hardest ranked schedule. Not an easy schedule by any means. So I'm gonna go pipe a knot for him trying to, predict it exactly. The 2 wins that he has, the 2 games that he has on his wins, very possible, in my opinion. I think the Browns are very, very favored in those matchups. But losing to the Bengals, I could see it. Deshaun Watson just still trying to get back into the rhythm of things. Losing to the Ravens, I think so. And I think they could beat the Commanders and or the Steelers. They definitely beat one of the 2. Do they beat both? I don't know. But that's Hot Take Tuesday. Short little episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on to miss any future videos. And if you really did enjoy, make sure to do that stuff. And this is JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off.